What's funny is that I learned about drum corps because of my parents. My parents met through the activity, uh, both in the Blue Devils organization in the 1990s. Drum corps has always been a part of my family. We would always go to like the Clovis show in like mid June, and it was like a yearly thing that we couldn't wait for. Like at the time, I didn't know what it was about. I was like, oh, these guys are wearing blue and it's drums. Oh, there's these guys wearing red and they're playing drums. It's loud. It was like going to a baseball game, but it was like that much cooler because only you knew about it.
So DCI, the easiest way I can describe this, it's a competitive league. It's an organization that organizes events for all these organizations like the Blue Devils, the Santa Clara Vanguard, the Mandarins, Cadets of Bergen County, Cavaliers. They are in charge of making sure that show venues happen, and they are the ones that end up scoring the corps, and they're the ones that will decide placement. So the way it works is that you have all these separate organizations. They're going to be in XYZ location. What DCI is responsible for is that they are a representation of like the founding fathers of it, and they also help make all these shows happen, and they help make music events for non-DCI events, because some high school band circuits will have sponsorships from DCI, or they'll have representatives from other corps sponsoring the show. Over here in California, there are several band leagues that are sponsored by the Blue Devils and the Santa Clara Vanguard. The Western Band Association specifically is sponsored by System Blue, which is a subproduct of the Blue Devils.
I knew what it was about. Like I knew that Blue Devils as an organization, they were cracked out of their minds when it came to drumming.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always thought of them as being some of the best because even watching the high schools that were local to my area at the time, it's like there's no way. Like these guys were the best of the best. We had all the DVDs, watched them. My dad showed the videos when he was marching in the years before me, and it just went from there. Ryan O'Dello was the caption head for the B Corps from, as far as I know, from 2009 all the way until 2018. And he saw me at my best and he saw me at my worst. And there was one day where I actually passed out on the field while we were rehearsing. And while I was laying down with ice pack on my head and just chugging water, he asked, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Which was out of character for him because when you see Ryan O'Dello and he's working, he's very intense. It's like he has to handle the battery and the front ensemble, just the big picture guy. It's like, hey, I know you're not doing it, but you can't give up. I don't want you to give up. Ryan was the type of person where he had a lot of things that he would say, but he would mean it in a different way. But this is one of the few times where he like talked to me from person to person. He had a tattoo on his leg that said, "You buy the ticket, you take the ride." And he reminded me that, remember, you chose to do this. You might want to give up right now, but I think you would let yourself down more than you would let any of us down if you left. And I know you don't want to do it. The worst season I ever had turned out to be the season that we won, which is ironic because you think that the season that you would win is going to be the best experience of your life. For others, it wasn't, but for me, it was rough. I was battling home issues. I was battling an injury. I had a over hyperextended thumb for 2/3 of the season. What was funny is that before we left on tour, we had a string of 3 shows in SoCal. And on the last show, because the previous 2 I didn't march because of my injury, he got mad at me and he said, "You're going to loosen up that cymbal strap that you have and you're going to play with the cast on." I looked at him like, "You're serious?" Like, "Yeah. You want to march the rest of the season?" "Yeah." "Then you better get on that field. You're in drum corps. You're with a bunch of people that know what the activity is, and they have a much bigger understanding of what the other person's going through. You take that, and then you go back to high school, and you don't even have to talk to people who are in high school band. You're just classmates." I personally found it very hard to connect with people from high school band and all the people I went to high school with because I knew what I did, and I tried to explain to them what it is that I did. But the response I got most of the time was, "Why would you do that? That sounds like it sucks." And after hearing that, not only from my random classmates, but people I was in high school band with, it was like, why do we do that? Is it fun? Are we just psychopaths? Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. But if you think about it, what do? You audition in January just to go on a 3-month long tour across the states. You don't get a summer vacation. Your summer vacation is that tour. You have all these friends that you make for a 3-month time period, and then you all go your separate ways afterwards. You come back to high school, you're sunburnt, you're tan, whatever the case, and you just think about being back there. And the more I look back on it, I appreciate the process a lot more. Because I realize that, hey, it takes people other times to do what they need to do to get where they want to be. And not everyone's going to have the goals that you have when it comes to the marching band. Some people are just there to hang out and have a good time. I think one of my biggest mistakes in high school is I wanted everyone to be good. Or at least I wanted everyone to try. What's the point if you don't make it enjoyable for everyone? What's the point in having a program if you can't encourage them? What good does getting mad at someone because they don't want to be there? If they don't want to be there, then that's fine. But at least make it welcoming for the ones that don't want to